So today, I want to address the 900-pound elephant in the room, which is something that it could be seen as obscure by some. I'm going to give you my opinion on it. I think that other people are going to maybe agree, and then some won't. And that's the nature of things. We can agree to disagree. So, the topic of the day is transgenders. Okay. Now, I want to be clear about one thing. Everybody is entitled to an opinion. However, an opinion does not need to be acted upon. In other words, if you don't like something, you don't move against it publicly and you don't attack it publicly. If it's not for you, it's not for you. And that's just the way it is. Some people like apple pies, some people like lemon meringue. So if I like lemon meringue pie, do I go out and attack everybody that likes apple pie? No, I don't. That's my opinion. It's called freedom of choice. It's what we as Americans have. It's what those brave souls fought for almost 250 years ago, so that we could have this right to make a choice and to have an opinion. That's the whole basis of freedom of speech. You have to have an opinion before you make a speech, right? So, as far as transgenders go, and not just transgenders, but let's talk about homosexuals. Let's talk about those who, I believe they call them furries, who identify as cats or whatever the case may be. Well, if that's your thing, good for you. Wonderful. It's not my thing. Okay? I personally don't see the logic in it. I guess you do. But on the other side of the coin, I don't think that we need to change society generally to fit this agenda. In other words, let's take a man who feels that he's a woman and wants to live his life as a woman. Do I think it's right that he should be using a woman's bathroom? No. But then what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to have 4 bathrooms instead of 2? What I mean by that is you have men, you have women, then you have transgender men and transgender women. The expense is astronomical to do that publicly. It makes no sense. That would be heavier taxation upon everybody. So we don't want to do that. But if that's the life that you choose to pursue, if that's what you want to do in the privacy of your home, you could do that. That's great. Publicly, though, if you want to live as a woman, I can't really give you the answer to that yet because I haven't figured it out, which bathroom you should use. I haven't figured that one out. That's a really tough call. But I don't think that other men should criticize you if that's the way that you want to live. I know this sounds like kind of a hodgepodge. It might even sound a little wishy-washy. But see, my goal in this is to try to mend bridges, trying to find a common ground where everybody can somewhat agree. I don't think the wholesale attack of transgenders is the correct move. If a man wants to live as a woman, but he's willing to put his life on the line for his country, you can't restrict that. This is not a draft, it's a volunteer army. I knew that you would probably not understand where I'm going with this, but it's food for thought. My opinion is it's not for me. I'm not particularly fond of it, but I can't speak for everyone, like I said. So consider these things, think about it, and decide for yourself. Thanks for watching. If you like this content, like and subscribe. And remember my name, I am M. Carter Pierce. I am the independent candidate for Senate in the great state of Pennsylvania for 2028.